Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're going to talk about this Milwaukee M18 cordless 4-gallon backpack sprayer, and I'm going to tell you what's good about it, what's bad about it, and maybe if you should buy it or not. So stay tuned. Alright you guys, so this right here is a Milwaukee M18 cordless 4-gallon backpack sprayer, model number 2820, okay? This one right here is just a general like herbicide tank or whatnot. They call this thing the Milwaukee M18 Switch Tank, okay? And it's a 4-gallon thing. And they have a really nice design or they have a really nice concept, right? The basic idea of the concept is that these tanks here are interchangeable, okay? The base stays the same and these tanks here are interchangeable. So I think they make this one, which is like a pesticide, herbicide type sprayer thing, or tank and sprayer and wand. They have another one which is for like concrete. I think it has a higher flow rate. It can take like more harsher chemicals or whatnot, or solvents or things like that, I think. And then they have like a water supply one, which is pretty much the same thing, but with the water supply quick connect type deal. So the idea behind this tool is actually really great because it works on their M18 battery platform, and the pump and like the wand and everything is pretty much entirely its own unit, right? So you can buy these things separately, and if you're using things like Roundup, right, and you want to switch to, you know, like fertilizer or something, you don't have to worry about cross-contamination. And so, I mean, like I said, for that reason, it's really great. It's 4 gallons, has a roughly 20 to 120 working PSI working pressure. You can spray if you do like a straight line into about 25 feet distance. The flow rate will go up to 0.1 to 0.51 gallons per minute, and it's got a dual diaphragm pump, and it's using Viton seals or O-rings or whatever you want to call them. So the weight of this unit empty is around 18.3 pounds. So the weight of it is actually kind of heavy if you think about it. Granted, M18 batteries are heavy by itself too, so to say. But if you fill it up with 4 gallons of liquids, because water weighs, let's say, roughly around 8 pounds a gallon. I mean, 8 times 4, that's 32 gallons plus the 18 pounds for a thing. It gets pretty heavy, okay? So, I mean, for that reason, it's a great system. But the short answer is, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't buy it, okay? So, now let me tell you on why you shouldn't buy it, okay? So when I first got this, obviously we tested it or whatnot, and it started leaking immediately, and it leaks somewhere right out of here. So the way it's designed is that if any leak happens, it has a channel to really go down here and then get the water out. So it just immediately started leaking from there, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with that. That maybe a seal wasn't on, or O-ring was missing, or maybe it wasn't aligned properly. Nothing we did, it didn't work, okay? So we got a replacement, or exchanged for a replacement. Second one, same thing, okay? Looked up reviews online, a lot of people complaining about pretty much the same thing, okay? So this is like an herbicide, chemical, fertilizer type device, right? So that kind of device you don't want to get on, or that kind of solvent or chemicals, whatever, you don't want to get on your skin, you don't want to ingest it or whatever, topicals or whatnot. So, I mean, this kind of system, the first priority of it should be like, it shouldn't leak, right? I mean, granted, there's going to be like spills here and there, but the basic design, it's got like one job, right? It's got to spray chemicals without leaking on you, right? I mean, that's pretty much what it comes down to. So anyways, that's primarily one of the primary reasons I will say you should not buy this, because it has a bunch of other issues too, and we're gonna drill into that a little bit, okay? But before we drill into that, I'm gonna bring you in closer, and then we'll go over a lot of the details and things like that. But in the end, I'm gonna say, like I said, don't buy it, and we'll go over more of the reasons on why not to buy this device. All right, you guys. So this right here is the Milwaukee M18 Switch Tank cordless backpack 4-gallon sprayer system, okay? This right here is the base, and you can't really just buy the base only. You always have to buy it with the base and some kind of kit. You can buy it with the water supply tank or the concrete sprayer tank or this tank. Sometimes there's combo deals where you can buy like 2 of these tanks. I don't think I've seen a combo deal where you get 1 of these and a concrete tank, but depending on where you're shopping and what retail you may go, that may be possible. Anyways, this is the base of the unit, and the base is pretty simple. It's pretty much like a standard backpack. This is pretty much hard plastic, same Milwaukee type plastic. Nothing to worry about here. It doesn't look like it's going to fail anytime soon. On this side, so if you're wearing it, right, on the right side, you're going to have your battery compartment. So the battery compartment is actually pretty nice, mainly because it's kind of used that latch system, right? And inside here, there's a really nice like O-ring seal, foamy type thing. It's not an O-ring, it's more like a foam weather strip type seal, but it does seal pretty nice. And this edge here is raised such that when you close it, this puts tension or compression on it, technically compresses it, and it creates like a solid waterproof type seal. I wouldn't submerge it by any means, but it does create a nice seal. It's got a pretty big tank, battery compartment here. You can fit a 12 volt, no problem. Although I wouldn't use a 12 volt because that's fairly heavy and the thing's already heavy by itself. So just use, if you buy the tool only, you could use like a high output 3.0 or XC 5.0 or something like that. You buy it as a kit. It's weird because it comes with the XC 3.0 battery, and that's not really a common Milwaukee type battery. But anyways, that right there is pretty much the right side of this, okay? Here's the back side or front side, depending on which way you want to look at it. And there's nothing really here, Milwaukee logo. It's got two latches. It's got a latch here on the front and on the back here. So you can, once the unit clips in, you can really seal it into place. And on this side, left side, if you're wearing it, is all your controls pretty much. You have the on off button, pretty big button there, and this light will turn green once it's on, and it's got up to 5 modes. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay? When you're wearing it, if you're flexible enough, you can kind of use these controls, but like I said, you're gonna have to be flexible enough to get there, but it does allow you to do that, no real problem, okay? Here's the part that touches your back. They kind of tried to do a nice deal where they kind of created like straps and some type of like very minimal foaming and things like that. And the straps work generally pretty well. But on this type of system, I really don't like this system, mainly because you're going to be using this with water or chemicals or whatnot. And the thing that you're going to notice is that when it gets wet, not if, but when it gets wet, this thing will stay wet, okay? And unless you leave it out in the sun or whatnot, it's going to like soak up. And even if you do leave it in the sun, it'll still dry out, but it'll soak up, right? But while you're using it, you're going to be, these straps are going to be pressing against your chest, and that wetness or chemicals or whatever is on it is going to be pressing on you, okay? And there's really no way to avoid that unless you're super careful and don't get it wet. But that's going to be, I want to say nearly impossible, because even these bottom straps, just laying it here and seating it in, and if it spills a little bit, it's going to get wet, right? So, I mean, it's a nice idea. I think, in my opinion, it fails pretty bad here, mainly because, like I said, chemicals or whatever, it's just going to be constantly pressing against you, okay? So like I said, it's a bad idea, I think, in my mind. All right, guys, so let's talk about the tank. So this tank is actually pretty interesting. In a way, like the pump and parts of it are kind of in this tank. It's all contained in one unit. When you buy it, you get pretty much this, and these things are sold as one like kit, right? So here's the wand, stainless steel wand, brass nozzle and things like that. It's got like a cruise control type thing where you can clip it in and then press this in to cruise control it. It does work generally pretty well. This is pretty much like a Milwaukee plasticky wand, and it's got like this rubber, super heavy duty rubberized type, I don't even know what you call this. It feels like there's a hose inside of this hose, and in a way, I kind of feel like there's some kind of electronics or a wire running down here. Not too entirely sure, but this hose feels like there's a hose within a hose, okay? And because of that, it's actually a pretty bad system, I think, mainly because it's so stiff. It's not very flexible, okay? I mean, it does flex, but it's so stiff that even if you put the wand on here, as it's designed to do, and if you just wait a few seconds or whatnot, this thing will eventually pull it off, and the wand will not stay on here no matter what you do, okay? There is another spot on the backpack where you can clip the wand in, but that's not really convenient to use, mainly because you're going to put a lot of pressure on here. But it does have this pressure or strain relief that you have on here, okay? Anyways, here's a tank, 4-gallon tank. Nothing too special to it except the pump and everything is contained inside of this tank. So if you're talking about, this is the back side that goes on the backpack. It's got 2 hooks that you really have to line up with and press down. Another latch for the backpack secure system. And on this one, it has a drain port. So you open it up, you tilt it over, and it will drain out. Almost all of it. There's always something left inside, okay? So let's seat this in real quick and let's see how, show you how it really works. So here's the base. Make sure your latches are open. Take this, put it in, line it up right here, and then press down, okay? And then once you can press these latches in, you put the clip on, press it down, same thing with the back side. Kind of hard to see because of the straps and everything are in the way. But I mean, it's really hard to put it in incorrectly because of the latches line up here. And if the latches didn't line up, you can't really insert it, right? So that's there. Anyways, so look at this already. It's already starting to fall off here. If you give it maybe a minute or two, it'll pretty much fall off, okay? Let's talk about this cup or top, right? So the top actually has like a pressure relief type thing where it will let air in. And the interesting thing about this top is it has a measuring cup built into the top. So that's actually a really great idea because a lot of times you use chemicals and things like that and you always have a measuring cup laying around and sometimes that measuring cup will get dirt, hair, whatever stuff on it. But having it built into the top is actually a really great genius idea. It does have this filter that it comes with that sits in here, and we'll have to bring you in and see if you can show you the inside of it, but it's nothing really too special going on in there. The thing I will note is that when it's full, it's actually pretty heavy, obviously, but it will drain down and it will drain to, I want to say maybe the last half gallon or so, and then it will really have struggle. There'll be a small struggle getting it out, and that's even when I had it sitting on a table just spraying it out. It will have a little bit of a struggle getting it out. You can kind of turn it, wish it around a little bit to kind of get that last bit out, but no matter what you do, you will not get all of it out. There's still maybe a quarter to a half gallon always stuck in there for some reason. I think that in itself is a design flaw. Maybe not a design flaw, but a performance flaw or whatnot, okay? So there is that. I mean, there's nothing too much to it. The review's gonna be kept really short, mainly because we bought this and we don't like it, so therefore we're going to go return it. We bought one, exchanged it, or it didn't work, exchanged it, that one doesn't work properly, and we're going to just return it because it's not very good. I think Milwaukee is generally like an electric tool type company. They kind of made a name for themselves off making like sawzalls and stuff like that, but this OPE chemical battery powered equipment thing I don't think or battery powered sprayer thing is really their thing. I really hope they come out with a Gen 2 version of this, mainly because I do think there is a lot of it would be a really great system if they made a lot of these improvements around it. So the place where it really leaks here is that, let me show you again real quick. When you put this base on, when you put the tank on the base, these channels allow whatever spillage is in here to leak out this side, therefore not necessarily coming in contact with you. But sometimes, depending on your posture or whatever, it will leak down and it will pretty much come across the back and then it will just get on your backside, your lower backside. So there's a good idea there. They took a lot of great ideas, but nothing, it doesn't really work very well as a complete unit, okay? So let's put this back on. All right, you guys, so there you have it, right? I mean, it's gonna be really short, mainly because I tried to use it a couple times and it just didn't really work. Long story short is all the frustration I had just even getting to use it or even using it for the first time, just go ahead and said, this is not a great product. I would definitely go ahead and return it. For the price, I think it comes in roughly around $300 bare tool. You can get like $350, $380, close to $400 for a kit. For this one, and it has a 3-year warranty, 3-3-1 warranty, right? 3-year tool warranty, 3-year battery warranty, and a 1-year tank warranty, right? So Milwaukee is generally considered a premium product, right? Because they kind of market themselves that way. And in a way, they're a really great marketing company, so to say. But this tool definitely falls short in a lot of areas, not just this wand by itself. I mean, stainless steel wand just doesn't have a nice fit. When you're holding this hose, it's really, I mean, it's not a struggle, but it's just not convenient because it is flexible, but it's just really stiff type of flexible. This thing doesn't really stay on here very well. These straps keep getting wet and keeps getting soaked. The unit is heavy by itself with dry weight is like 18.3 pounds on your back, right? Fill it up with another 32 pounds worth of liquid and it becomes a problem, right? This dial is not necessarily variable speed in a way. Sure, you can kind of variable speed it by using the trigger here. Whoops. But I mean, it's got like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setting. It would be nice if it was a variable speed dial, and it would also be nice if it wasn't so expensive. But the most important thing is that it leaks, okay? And that is the most important thing. So if you got like one job to do and you don't really do that one job really well, it's just not a great tool, okay? So I'm just go ahead and say it. This video was not sponsored. We bought this with our own monies to use on our lot, and I can just go ahead and say it's going for return. There you go. That's all there is really to it, right? 300 bucks, not a great tool. So just let me kind of get you to an idea of how we ended up here. So the way we ended up here, we kind of take care of a little bit of a little more than a half-acre lot. We kind of started off using the Chapin's hand pump sprayers. Then we went to like, was it Flowmaster type 2-gallon sprayers and the Echo sprayers. And eventually moved into the Ryobi 18-volt 1+, 1-gallon sprayer, which kind of had its own issues. I think they make a 2 or 3-gallon size of that. And eventually we said, okay, we got to upgrade because it's just refilling all the time, taking too much time and all that kind of fun stuff, right? So we ended up getting this because we said, hey, Milwaukee generally makes a good product. In this case, it's a terrible product. So we're still on a search for something. I did go ahead and have another item that we kind of already ordered mainly to replace this item. I already used it earlier today. I can go ahead and tell you that one it's just far better than this one, okay? The only other thing this thing really has going for it is that it's a switch tank system, no worry about cross-contamination, works on Milwaukee M18 batteries, has a decent warranty, and uses Viton seals, right? Or O-rings, or whatever you want to call them. So with that being said, don't buy this. Hopefully this video's helped you guys out, and we'll see you guys next time.